Hi friends, welcome to the next video. As you can see, I am here in Bali at my pad and I have a new exercise for you. I've been getting some questions about the rebound stroke, and I feel that there's a lot of things that we need to continue talking about. And like I said, there are many reasons that you should learn how to do this. Number one reason of all is for your health, to be able to play for the rest of your life and not get tendonitis and not end up in the hospital with having to have an operation on your hands, right? The next thing is because the rebound stroke allows you access to vocabulary that you will not have if you do only stickings or only finger control or, things of that nature. Now, when you get into this, you're going to see by this particular exercise is that you start to combine the choreographies. Now, what is the choreography? It is the movement that you need to do to execute the phrases, in this case, paradiddle or paradiddle diddle. All right. Before we get started into the details, I want to thank everybody for the lovely comments and the super thanks, of course. I really appreciate that. And those who are buying my book, Paradiddles and the Magic Sticking, and the other books, and becoming members of the lesson site. I really appreciate you all, and it's a beautiful thing to have you here on the channel, and I'm glad you're finding these things useful. If you don't know what the choreographies are, please go watch the other videos about the rebound stroke, which we have in detail the rudiments like this with the choreographies, each separately, okay? The paradiddle has one choreography, the paradiddle diddle has another choreography, 6 and the 7 and the 5 stroke roll all have their same choreographies. I mean, all have separate choreographies. See what happens when I talk too fast? I start to mix up the words. So now what you do, once you learn that, is that you start to combine the choreographies, okay? Now, you might think that this is no big deal, right? You just flow from one thing into the next, but it doesn't work that way, okay? You might be used to doing the separate choreographies, but once you get to know them, you have to flow them on the kit, and flowing them on the kit is a whole different story again. Now, when you play in a drum corps type setting, you have one drum, you have maybe on quads, you have 4 drums, but on drum set, you have limbs, cymbals, you have like a whole drum corps set up, and you're the only guy there. So you need a different technique and to be able to get all the phrasing you can out of the drum set, especially when you're getting into more complex things. And I'm not talking about licks, I'm talking about phrases, musical phrases that last a long time, that are very, musical, let's say. You need to be able to have a flow. Like I said many times, in martial arts, there's a flow, right? In dancing, there's a flow. You use choreographies to get the phrases out. You don't use stickings, okay? Stickings themselves are the sequence in which the notes fall. The choreography is the big movements in which the phrases are contained. Okay, so with that in mind, we're going to have a look at this, all right? Paradiddle and paradiddle diddle. We're going to do the accents on the pulse. The pulse is going to remain constant, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. In order to put the paradiddle diddle in that pulse, we have to make it a sextuplet or a 16th note triplet subdivision. All right, so I'm just going to play that real quick for you. This is what it sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you might not think that's a big deal, but there's a lot going on there, okay? I'm flowing the motions. I'm not using stickings. I'm using the choreography and the rebound stroke. Mixing the two, or rather connecting the two choreographies, is a very important thing to learn. All right, it's going to allow you to flow freely from one phrase to the next. Now, this is just the beginning. There are many phrases that you string together like this, and one flows into the next. On the kit, it's absolutely amazing when you start to play this way. It changes your sound, it changes your vocabulary, and it's just beautiful, right? It's just so much more enjoyable to play than sticking everything. You're going to be able to play faster and more fluidly. So let's just briefly review, okay, what's going on. The paradiddle. Accent, lift, bounce, bounce. Accent, lift, bounce, bounce. Accent, lift, bounce, bounce. Paradiddle, paradiddle. Okay, if you don't know exactly what to do there, again, please go watch the paradiddle video with using the rebound stroke. It goes into it way deeper than what we're going to go into it here. With traditional grip, now the thing to notice is getting the full range of motions, all right? Very important with both grips, but for traditional grip especially. And you'll notice when I'm coming down, when I'm in position 1, position 2, neutral, all the same things are happening that happen in match grip, okay? Okay, now let me make sure that the sound, yeah, sound is on. So you'll notice the stick positions when I'm playing. One thing I've noticed is the inability to get a full extension here, okay? Now, that might be because you're gripping the stick too much, like this. You're not letting go. You're not opening the hand or keeping it in a natural position. Remember, to learn how to hold your sticks, go back to the first video about how to hold your sticks and check out the positions. When you're in this position, you might feel tightness here too. That means you just got to be able to get your hands to be a little more flexible. Your arm, you have to stretch this muscle out so you can be playing in full positions. And when you're up here, you don't grip onto the stick like this. You don't look like this, putting your elbow inside and all that. You know, you let go, okay? Just gently, as if nothing was in your hand. Okay, the paradiddle, again. Accent, lift, bounce, bounce, accent, lift, bounce, bounce. If you isolate each hand, there's 4 things going on with each hand. Accent, bounce, tap, up. Accent, bounce, tap, up, back. The up comes right after the accent of the opposite hand. So it's like your hands are dancing together in this continuous motion. And you'll notice that I'm not doing that, the stickings, okay? I'm flowing the motions as much as possible, getting 4 notes out of each motion, all right? Now, paradiddle, diddle. Remember the exercise to free up your hands using paradiddle diddles. In one motion, you're going to drop both hands together. And at first, that's what it's going to sound like. Just flop. Blah, 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 blah. But eventually, you can feel how to separate the notes in the sequence. You'll notice it's not this. Those are 6 movements. Bad news, all right? The faster you go, the more compressed the choreography becomes. And you'll notice that I'm not using any kind of like a push-pull or or finger controlled things like this. I'm not doing that. I'm using 95% rebound stroke at that point. Of course, the faster you go, the more downwards pressure you have to exert on the stick, and I'm using the fulcrum to do that. I'm not using this finger, okay? So just things to keep in mind. Again, if you don't understand that, go back and watch the paradiddle diddle video. Now, the important thing is to get these two things flowing together, to get accustomed to changing the choreographies on the spot, all right? So 16th note triplets. Match grip. I've talked about this ball of energy that exists here and the 4 elements that you have to start using in order to do this. First element, gravity, okay? The weight of the sticks, the second element. The bounce off the surface, third element, and downward pressure, the 4th element. Now, what tends to happen is guys start to drop their sticks a lot because they're learning exactly how much you have to grip and not giving the sticks the death grip, the choking, like you're trying to choke the heck out of the sticks, right? With your back fingers especially. I don't know why, but this is a very common issue. People have a tendency to grip the sticks with the back fingers, okay? You need to get rid of that as soon as possible. That is nowheresville, okay? It has its uses, but much later right now, and it's limited in its uses, as opposed to studying the rebound stroke, which is applicable in so many ways. All right. So the faster you go, the more you have to apply downwards pressure, and I'm just going to show you a little faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So the thing to notice there is I did it 2 ways. I did it with open space here, and I did it with the closed space. I see so many ridiculous videos talking about, oh, you should never blah, blah, close, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, people have never studied hand technique with anyone of consequence, right? Maybe they got this off of their high school gym teacher, I don't know. So it's very important to observe what people say and what they do. If you'll notice, the faster you go, there's a tendency to close right here. That's because it allows you to exert more downward pressure as opposed to just depending on the contact points of the 3 fingers. I mean, you can do this, but if you want to go faster and louder, closing the gap is very important. I mean, I've seen everybody do it, okay? Be aware of what people say and what they do. 2 different things a lot of times, okay? So, in my humble opinion, like starting to combine these choreographies is very important. Next time we're going to combine paradiddle and like say 5-stroke roll, okay? Paradiddle diddle and triple paradiddle, or paradiddle diddle and 8-stroke roll, things like that. All those kind of things are very important to be able to combine to start to see how this flow works, okay? Again, let's play this example here. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Now, you'll notice it's not like, not going crazy. It's very fluid and relaxed. It's not about playing at the maximum speed that you can. It's about learning when to lift, when to do the accent, and when to make everything flow together. That's what we're doing, okay? So, with that, I hope you enjoyed this video and you got a lot out of it. We're going to be continuing this series of flowing the choreographies together. And if you want to study with me online, the lesson site is waiting for you, philmaturano.com. $300 gets you into the full year program, video support, email support, WhatsApp support, video reviews, lesson plans, the whole deal, plus the full curriculum that's on the site, the most innovative curriculum there is on the planet by far. And you can study hand consultations. You can do hand consultations with me, only $100 for an hour on WhatsApp or any platform you want, Facebook, whatever. Also, the Elite program is happening. Remember, 3 hours a day for 7 days, plus a 2-year membership on the lesson site. The Elite program is for those who really want to get into drumming, and we're going to cover the full curriculum that's on the lesson site. Also, I'm doing Drummers Intensive Days in Europe. If you want to book a Drummers Intensive Day in your country, in your city, in your town, write me, and we're going to fill you in on all the details. Okay, from lovely Bali, Indonesia, outside here with all the insects and the nature and everything, I send you many greetings and thanks for watching. Peace. Hi friends, I'm here to tell you about an exciting new program I have on my lesson site. It's called the Elite program. In this program, you're going to be working with me very, very closely while I guide you through the entire site. The Elite program. Why do I call it that? Because I'm searching for the most dedicated people to study this material. If you want to be a professional drummer, you're going to have to change your life. You're going to have to put drums ahead of everything. And I'm here to make sure that that decision is something that's going to benefit your life in the most positive way it can. Some websites have guest artists that come in and show you some stuff for about an hour and then they leave and you never hear from them again. You're stuck with the guys on the site that may or may not have much experience at all. In this program, you're going to be working with me directly. 3 hours a day for an entire week online, okay? We're going to be having conference online, video conference, 3 hours a day for a week. In this week, I'm going to guide you through everything, prepare you. I'm going to watch you play. I'm going to watch you practice. We're going to work together on things in the moment, okay, which is very important. Now, why the price, you may ask? Well, an online video session with me usually costs $270 for 2 hours. A private lesson with me in New York costs $100 an hour. A lot of guys charge a lot more than $100, maybe $200, $300 an hour. My price is $100 an hour. I think that's fair. So if you take that many hours with me, okay, 7 times 3, that's 21, that's $2,100. The price of the course is $1,900. So you're already saving $400 by doing it this way. $400 savings. Plus, you have the full year membership to the site with email support, Skype support, and everything else. This unique study situation has been brought about by the technology we enjoy today. Before, you would have had to travel to New York, hang out with me, come to my house, you know, have all those expenses of going to New York, which many guys have done. But now we can do things in a much more, let's say, efficient basis, more economical, and a way that you can be constantly in touch, not only having me in New York there while you're there. Okay, so this is, I think, an amazing opportunity to study. I've taught at some of the best drumming institutions in the world. That's not something that everybody can say. And I have all that knowledge right here waiting for you. If you're serious about your drumming, the lesson site is there. And I'm there as well, ready to make sure you get the most out of the drumming experience and having drums in your life. Okay? I hope you'll check out the Elite program. The most innovative curriculum there is comes from having the experience from teaching all over the world, drummers at every level from the highest drumming cultures on the planet. What you're going to need to participate is a way to interact with me online. You need to have a drum set up with your camera, your phone, or whatever. It has to sound halfway decent, and a good Wi-Fi connection so we have uninterrupted streaming. Now, as far as the price goes, if you use PayPal, you can break up the payments. PayPal offers you a variety of ways you can pay. You can use your credit card, and if you don't have access to those things, just write me and we'll figure out a way. But this is a very important program and I think you're gonna love it. It's not a common opportunity to study drums, so I hope you'll take it and make the best of it. All right, folks, see you on the Elite program. Peace.